So I've been testing this free Mogo eSIM service that they provided me, a free eSIM to test it out. But I'll try and be as objective as possible. It does have its pros and some cons, so I'll go over them right now quickly. First of all, the activation is really quite straightforward. It's pretty easy. They send you basically a code, and then you plug it in, and then you connect the network. Once you set it up, it's very easy to do. The speed is not bad, it's not great. It really hovers between 161 to 193 download and just about 10 to 35 upload. The biggest issue I found was actually the latency, which is about 495 to 608 milliseconds, which is okay to the most part. I mean, unless you're going to be playing some first-person shooter, which I assume most of you are not. What I found to be the most attractive thing about it is the price, actually. So normally when I visit a country, depending where you are, you pay about, let's say, $40 worth for eSIM or a SIM card. Let's say you're going to Canada or Europe, which could be like 30 euros for 1 month worth of data. And some places even unlimited. It's good for visitors, but there is obviously some downside to it. Besides, you're paying a lot more when you visit a country. You also have a privacy issue because you have to give them your passport information. I'd rather not give my passport information to just every single telecom company that I visit or a country that I visit. So there is some convenience there. Also, the pricing is cheaper to get this way. There is obviously the problem of how much data you're going to need. So I've been traveling from Florida to South Carolina to North Carolina. Then I stopped by New Hampshire. Then I went to Canada, Montreal, Toronto for 2 weeks. And then I returned the rental car, traveled from Canada. I flew all the way to Greece for 2 weeks. During this entire time, I wanted to see how much data I use. I use it, kind of limited it to maps so I can know what I'm driving, emails, minor browsing, some communication, Twitter, stuff like that. No real heavy video watching, didn't really go on YouTube, didn't really do much besides read or maybe watch short clips on Twitter, maybe from Tucker Carlson and so on. So relatively the data was low. During the first 2 weeks, I tried to just exclusively use the eSIM they gave me. I know most of us will have just unlimited data all over the US, but I tried to kind of keep it as, maybe you could live in any different country and you're planning to visit specific countries or specific provinces or states, and you might have some limited data there. But in my perspective, I got the package for all of North America, which cost me about $16. It gave me about, let's say, 3 gigs worth of data, because most of the time I'll be on Wi-Fi anyways, if I'm going to be in the hotel or in the restaurant and so on. But I kind of try to be as conservative as possible to see how much it would cost me. It's $16, but I mean, if I wanted just the US alone or just Canada alone, it's going to be similar of about $10, $9.90 for 5 gig worth of data. What I didn't really come even close to the 3 gig when I was using it for North America. When I went to Greece, I went a little bit further. I got the 5 gig plan, also $10, $9.90. But for my intents and purposes, it cost me $26. It will cost you probably around $20 if you go the other route. And it's still way cheaper than buying 2 eSIM cards and giving the company, your passport information. So it's very convenient, very good. Speed is not bad. Latency is okay. Otherwise, there's really no cons there. Besides, if you're planning to use it for first-person shooter, the speed, to the most part, it was around 4G. It did drop to Edge and LTE in some places, but then again, I was all over Greece and Crete also, that was quite remote areas, as well as I took a boat ride, so also it still had connection, but it went down to Edge or LTE. So it was pretty good coverage, for sure. Speed is relatively very good. You just have to be mindful of how much data you're going to be using. Otherwise, it's a great service, so if you want to check them out, go ahead. The only one thing I want to point out is once you add it in this eSIM selection of carrier that you want to switch from, make sure you turn on roaming, because It may or may not work if you don't have roaming, depending on if you have it multi-zone area or one zone area. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, if you have any questions, please send me the comments below, and I'm more than happy to answer your questions.